I'm talking about the Forest Ranger Eric Smith and what happened today specifically. I'm just going to continue from the tape I just put up. Uh, I've never seen him angry like that. He was agitated and he kept demanding I get my stuff out. Well, I was trying to put it together and I couldn't. I said, just wait, because he called the man that brought the cab driver that brought had just dropped me off not long before then, and I put my tent up. I couldn't get it all the way back because it used to be okay, but it was overgrown kind of. So I put the tent up, going to try to drag it on further back, and he shows up, Johnny on the spot. So the fact he was alerted when the cab driver called up to the Rangers and asked about they have to get permission to get on the Blue Ridge, and there's a place up there that I could have camped, and it would have been fine. And so anyway, the cab driver was told that no, on Sunday you couldn't bring the cab up there. So what happened was I'm sitting there. By this time I'd taken the tent down, and I did walk out to where Eric was. He was sitting there, and I couldn't understand why he brought the other cop, the Fincastle cop. I couldn't understand why he kept sitting there, because I'm leaving. He'd called the cab driver for me. He's on his way. I asked him. I said, is it okay when the cab driver gets here, because I've just paid him $100 and I'll have to pay $100 to go back. And I bought some things to camp. I said, he was told that you couldn't get on the Blue Ridge Parkway with a cab on Sunday. And he said, well, that's not true. I said, well, that's what they told him, and they did tell him that. So anyway, the point being, I said, well, can he take me up to, originally that's where I was going to go. And he said, no, that I wasn't allowed on National Forest land anymore. I couldn't go, and I reminded him that I had not camped in quite a long time in the National Forest. When I had camped was last year and this year, and that was on the campsite. And I reminded him about the formaldehyde being burned, which he said he didn't care. He wasn't going to get into that. He didn't care it was against the law or what. He wasn't going to get into it. So he's telling me that no matter what, I can't go on National Forest land. The cab driver comes up. He goes out and gets putting my stuff, and he's telling me to leave because I'm not far enough away from the road, which that's pretty. They've got this mountain of thing that you can't back cars in there or anything, and I'm back behind that, so I'm back a little ways, and I would have gotten up and moved it, except it rained a little bit, and I went ahead and put the tent up. So I had told him I would move it on back. He flat told me I could not come back on forestry land again, and I said, well, the only thing I said to him, and I kept basically very quiet and very calm. I wasn't going to raise my voice. I said, well, what if I put it on YouTube? Well, I already have put a lot of this because it's political. And that's when he got even madder. And he started writing out, and I said, what are you doing now? And he said, I'm writing you out a warning now. And he said, I told you I wasn't going to write you a ticket. And he wrote out the warning, and he never gave me a copy of it. And he said something about when I said YouTube, I forgot what he said. He got really angry. And anyway, the cab driver said that he put his name down at the bottom of it for some reason, and that he tore it out, but he never handed it to me because he thought better of it, because I was going to put it on YouTube, because this has been one hell of a mess. My life has been slaughtered because of politics and what my kidnapping and writing a book trying to do the right thing, which was about mind control and about doctors using it. And now then people like Clive Owens that has a network show, and Coast to Coast are telling things I was telling back then and trying to get the book published. So I've had laws broken against me. And so I ended up paying the $200, $100 down, $100 back. And the cab driver was nice. I mean, he helped pull the stuff in here and all that. So I don't mean anything against. And I told Eric, I did say this. I said the cab driver had nothing to do except dropping me off. And by the way, if the truth be told, I don't think I had broken the law at all. He said I was too close to the highway, to the well, it's a forestry road that goes to North Creek, or a road that goes to North Creek. It's way back in there on Jefferson National Forest, Arcadia. So everything he did was illegal. So I'm sitting here, and I don't know. He has told me I couldn't come back on National Forest land. I asked him to give me a letter or a note about that. He refused to, and he didn't give me the copy of the so-called warning he was going to give me. So I'm putting this up on YouTube because it's connected also with, and I'm afraid to say this because a lot of people want me just shut up. All right. I thought that Senator John Edwards, he's a state senator, was a good guy. He knew about my kidnapping, and he knew pretty much all about me, I believe. I've been in his office. I've also been in Goodlet's office. He's a U.S. congressman. He was over the agriculture, which is over Eric Smith, the Rangers, and all that did this mess to me in the past and all of it. Deliberate, told to do it and everything. He was over that committee, and now he's over Intelligence Committee, I believe, and there's another one that's really high-powered committee he's over. I've been in his office, Goodlet's office. It's right by John Edwards. And the last time I was in there, which has been a few years ago, somebody came out behind me and got on the elevator with me, a man did, and he said if he helped you, he would be living in the forest too. Well, I wasn't, well, I'll have to take that back. I probably did. A lot of people go up and camp and put their backpack on and do the trail and all that. But anyway, I hadn't done that even in a long, long time. So this whole thing was illegal as heck. And to heck with formaldehyde, I wonder if people know what they're breathing when they breathe wood that's been soaked with formaldehyde, okay? And it burns all night. So this is just prior. I'm the victim in this mess. They have broken so many laws, and I'm going to leave it at that because he didn't give me the warning, but he sure made me leave, and I've never seen him mad like that. I will go ahead and say this. There were murders that were done. They were a couple of lesbians. This has been some years ago, and I was up on the trail then. And their throats were cut, and I think Rice, a man named Rice, was finally put in prison for it. But I think they were up north off the Blue Ridge Parkway camping in one of the lodges up there, and they're dead. But anyway, that's one of the mind control murders, and I remember Eric had mentioned it because I was talking to Kathy, his boss, Kathy Nichols. She's not there anymore. But anyway, she said, well, Eric's been telling you stuff, talking about that, hasn't he? And I said, well, no, not really. He was talking about the dog that was with them when they were killed. But I'm telling you this to give you a gist. I haven't committed a crime. They've been committed against me, and I sit here in this mess. Look at it. That I went out and got to have some fresh air like anyone goes out there. And I dare say if you went out to North Creek, and this is the bottom of the bucket, I mean, this is like apple and oranges and what they've done to me. It's a 16-site campsite in the National Forest. It's a nice one. It's way back there from Buchanan. I don't know how many miles from Roanoke, not all that many, 35 miles. I should be able to go out there and enjoy it like everybody else. I never have been except last year, the one time. And I wanted to say this. There's people that go out there and they stay out there. They stay out there a lot, which the rules aren't kept at all. So he comes out there today and he orders me out. I can hardly walk from trying